Let me get this tweeted out and Discorded out, or let me get this tweeted out so everybody join in here. 1 second, please. I'm used to say that all the time. All right, cool, awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. Well, wow, what a day today, guys. I mean, just a incredible. I mean, incredible today, right? I mean, we were kind of all over it with the Elliott wave count today. We also had the uh, just all over it today, guys. So we expected the pullback this morning was very strong at the open. Then we had that big reversal, right? Potentially the start of a wave three up. We'll see what they have in store tomorrow. Tomorrow's OPEX day, so option expiration tomorrow. It's also quad witching. So a lot of times we actually see some chop on those days, but sometimes we can see some funky volatility and some interesting price action. So we'll see what we have in store tomorrow for OPEX. But other than that, guys, great job today. So today we're going to be wrapping up our series this week here on stock market recap and chart requests. I'm actually really excited about this Sunday. Normally we do our Elliott Wave show, but we're taking a little break from that this weekend. We've got a special guest coming on from Twitter with a really pretty cool program. It's they're called Chatter Quant. So be sure to tune in on Sunday for that. It's gonna be pretty cool. I really like their how they really kind of get. It's really about just kind of interpreting social media, right? And it really kind of brings a lot of the type of names that I don't look at, right? But kind of those meme type names, it brings it to it. And those things can move sometimes, right? Retail can really move stuff. So I think it'll be an interesting conversation. So be sure to tune in Sunday night at 7:30 Eastern time. So that'll be fun too. Anyway, guys, before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the market here today. Then we're going to get a little bit deeper into it and take a look at how some composures have changed. You know, some composure changed in the market as we head into OPEX tomorrow. We'll take a look at that. We'll kind of maybe get some ideas going into next week, and then we'll take a look at chart requests and we'll wrap up. So let's get started. All right, so SPX guys, we finished down about 6 points here today. Still red on the monthly chart. Actually, still red on the weekly chart, which is kind of interesting. But basically a doji right here, so it could go either way, which is actually very interesting going into the last day of the week. So will they turn it green and we get a big hammer or big push, or is it going to turn into a nasty candle and then going to be kind of scary going into the next week? So and that'll be interesting too with fresh gamma coming on the board on Monday, right? So that's one of the big things that we're looking at, right? So we're still under the 80 EMA right here. We had an inside day yesterday, so again, kind of a doji on the week, doji on the day. We did get a big dip buy today, right? We had a nice push down. It looked like they might have tried to get it below these recent lows, but they couldn't do it. They ended up buying the dip, and it was a pretty epic dip buy today too. Take a look at that in a second. But we weren't surprised, right? Because when we looked at our wave count yesterday, we had this potential. We're like, okay, we definitely had an impulsive wave up yesterday. And today we're like, okay, well, just kind of keep an eye out just in case they drop it a little bit, right? It might really try to get those bears thinking like, oh, this thing's still going down, right? But since we know how to count waves, we're like, all right, let's kind of bring it down to the 618 area right here. We got really close to. We actually ended up got a lower tick right here off of the 886 zone, and then kind of came right back up with an impulsive wave up. So to me, it looks possible that we could be working on another wave up. So one thing you kind of want to look at going into tomorrow, right, is the potential for this, right? Because we'll take a look at the futures here in a second. They're a little bit, kind of blah here this evening, but you might see something like this, like a little retrace there, and then go into the weekend. So that could be pretty interesting as well. So we're going to be tracking that. Obviously, if we lose these lows, right, that kind of invalidates everything. We're like, okay, let's take a look at what the bigger bear count is on this thing. But for the most part, that's what we're looking at. So what's going on next week is that we've got tomorrow we've got OPEX, right, and we've got quad witching. So that's basically the expiration of the futures options, regular options, and index options, all that good stuff tomorrow. So, but what's pretty interesting, a lot of time heading into that, we had a big drop right here off of the SPX roll, right? Kind of rolling to new contracts, things like that. So a lot of times we do see a drop off of that, and then the reversal back up. So that's kind of interesting too. But if things are bearish tomorrow, and we do push down below these lows, and it invalidates a lot of those counts, what's going to happen next week, right? So that's kind of the big considerations, right? We really need to look at that, and we really kind of need to look at and dig into some of these leading sectors that we like to talk about and see how they perform tomorrow as well, right? Above and beyond, some of the usual pinning shenanigans that we might see with option expiration, right? And so if they're generally okay, it's very possible that we could just start to drift our way back up next week because of we got fresh gamma, right? So all the monthly contracts are off the board, right? So it just depends which way they decide to push this thing. If they start to push it back up, right, they might have to follow those calls to the upside and start hedging up, right, to keep delta neutral. And same thing to the downside too. So it's a very, very interesting stuff there. So we're definitely going to be paying attention to that next week. And also Wednesday is Fed Day, FOMC Day, right? And guys, this market is so sensitive to the Fed. I mean, even a year ago it was, I mean, we get some quick moves and all that stuff, but I mean now, I mean, just any little hint at the Fed is we get some interesting volatility that kind of gets injected into the market. So that's definitely something to look at there. But pretty cool stuff here with the wave count, right? Definitely check on, see how this goes going in tomorrow. Again, a little bit of a pullback, actually might be kind of like a 1-2, 1-2-ish type move for a larger wave 3 of 3 up. So that is a possibility too. So we're kind of looking at that. Don't be surprised if we see a like a push up to all-time highs over the next couple days, and then we'll see what happens into the Fed. So this is kind of the big one. So what are the sectors that we're looking at going into next week? Obviously, we want to take a look at the banks, right? So so we just basically look at the XLF on this one. A little bit red here today below the 80 MA, so kind of struggling a little bit, but still hanging on to its gap here. A couple of the banks have been pushing their way down. Again, they respond very sensitively to the Fed, so that's definitely something to look at here. We used to like to look at gold and things like that. I mean, gold actually got a really big drop here today. Look how much this dropped here today. Incredible stuff on that. So that's interesting as well. Definitely something to keep an eye on there. But other things that we look at are the semiconductors, right? So the semiconductors were actually pretty decent today, right? So they like to lead the market, especially the big tech names. When big tech moves, right? Apple, Amazon, those type of companies, right? Then we tend to see strength, right? Because they're so heavily weighted on the indexes, right? So keep an eye on the semiconductors, right? They could help lead the way. They had a pretty decent day today. AMD had a huge dip by today. Nvidia ended up kind of closing pretty strong. Some of the other names were okay as well. So that's something we look at. Of course, we like to look at the transports, right? So the IYT is one to look at right here. Actually had a green day today off of the inside day, a couple upper shadows right here. So again, tomorrow's price action on the transports could lead, to some bigger movements, or at least to some clues into what the industrials are going to be doing going into next week too. So those are a lot of the things that we're looking at going into next week. And tomorrow's going to be a very interesting day, right? So OPEX day, and we're ready to have some fun tomorrow too. It's always fun on Friday. So anyway, guys, good stuff. So at this point now, that gives us a recap of the market. So at this point now, if anybody's got any questions or chart requests, guys, great job yesterday on these chart requests. You guys came out with some stuff. You might be asking them here in a little bit. Last night here on this show, you guys pointed out PLTR. And I was like, wow, that's a beautiful cup and handle right there. And even yesterday, where it was the breakout of the cup, look at that follow through today on PLTR. Isn't that incredible? That made the public game plan today. That was nice. And then that RSI one too. Beautiful bull flag breakout yesterday. We talked about this recently, not too long ago. And then we got that strong move yesterday with increasing. Look at the volume that came in this one today. Gapped up and just really pushed today. So these are two ones that we talked about here on the show yesterday that you guys came up with and just found really great charts, and they ended up playing out really, really nicely. So good job on that. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that. Good job. But other than that, guys, at this point now, questions, chart requests, feel free to plug those in. Shirley's sending a few in via email. So let's take a look at those. So PLTR is one of those. Again, beautiful cup and handle breakout. Let's see if we get some follow through on this. I won't be surprised to get a little bit of a pause day or pullback, but beautiful move today. So nice one there. PD, this is an interesting one. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Kathy Wood bought some of this yesterday. Actually got a little bit of upside follow through here today. Not a lot of volume after it, kind of had that big gap up and then faded. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, and then kind of work its way up. Seems to be kind of a magic number. So pretty cool stuff there. GDRX, great moves recently, right? Big breakout candle right here. 2 pause days and then down, tag the 80 MA and then back up again. So nice move on that. JWN, again, retail was interesting today, right? We had a lot of green retail names. I think some retail numbers were a little bit better than expected, and back over the 80 MA on this one, but just watch out for the upper shadow. So nice move there. Let's take a look. What else? You've got the Big C on the radar too. Yeah, Big C starting to perk up here again. Nice push, good volume here over the 80 MA. It looks pretty strong going into tomorrow. In fact, I'm going to add that to the radar for tomorrow too. Let's take a look. Where are we hiding down here? Yeah, Big C looks interesting. So I know a lot of folks like to trade this name. So that's definitely another one to keep an eye on there too. Good stuff. Thanks, Shirley. Really appreciate it. Angelo, what's going on? Good to see you. AMC, one of the kings of the mean names. Upper shadow here today. Kind of a little bit of a kind of a reversal inverted hammer here today. Sitting at the cloud, let's see if it holds right there. I'd like to see it push back up above the ADMA to start to get kind of excited about it. But looks pretty interesting there. I wouldn't go ahead and go crazy shorting. There's not a lot of volume in it, but could be interesting right there. J Moss, what's going on? Good to see you. Good. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, RSI, incredible. Again, great one pointed out yesterday. Just a beautiful move today. Great gap up over the bull flag breakout from the day before, and incredible follow through on that one. So again, continue to look at it, see if it continues to move, but might pause for a little bit, but definitely showing some amazing price action on that. Let's take a look at Crocs. Yeah, nice inside day up on that one. Again, lower volume here, but it did give a little bit of a push over those recent highs and closed above it. So let's see if it continues to grind its way up. And then BDX, let's take a look. Big inside day, but it looks like it's trying, right? So continue to keep an eye on that one and see if we can push over these recent highs, right? So what we want to see is, some sort of push over those levels right there. So that could be pretty interesting as well. Great stuff. Really appreciate it. Dan, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate the thumbs up. Let's take a look at what else? Otas, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. You got Etsy going on. Let's take a look at Etsy. Etsy with a nice breakout candle here today, guys. Oh, yeah, this is great. Wow, this one looks really good too. So again, we had that bull pennant that we've been looking at right here. We've been looking for an increased volume breakout on that one. That's going on the radar tomorrow too. Wow, you guys are finding some great ones here. Yeah, very, very nice candle on Etsy. See if that continues to work its way up. Let's take a look at CRWD. Hey guys, keep on tuning in every night. Really amazing stuff right here. CRWD okay over the ADMA. Not a lot of volume on it. Low, decent, right? It's just basically just kind of struggling here with this level right here. So let's see how that holds as well. Again, it looks like we're pretty close to a prior level. It looks like it wants to break out, right? So we're getting pretty close to a couple other prior levels right here. So let's see how it does, right? It could be interesting. It's getting really, really tight. Definitely looking, like a flaggish type pattern here. So see if we can break out above there with some more volume and kind of get going there for the home builders, right? Let's take a look at Lulu. Lulu, nice reversal on this one here today too, off of the ADMA. A little bit of strength off of that, off of its recent earnings gap. Continuing to defend that, so that's looking pretty good. And let's take a look at Square. Yeah, guys, wow, Square finally made a nice move here too. I know Paul's been liking this one. He talked about this one, bubble report stuff the other day. Just really, really nice on this too. Great find on that one. Yeah, Otas, hope you had a great show today as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Gooey, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at MMAT. Let's take a look. MMAT. Unless there's something going on here after hours, it looks, not really much, kind of drifting lower right here. I mean, it's got a tough little area right here. What we want is, some sort of volume to kind of get out of this range and maybe start to push into that daily cloud. So let's see how it goes there. GZ Growth, what's going on? Really appreciate it. Awesome. Yeah, great stuff. Really love it. Great job. Let's take a look at Amazon. Thanks so much. Yeah. Amazon, guys, looks pretty interesting. It's kind of on my bullish radar going into tomorrow. I think it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. One of the things you can look at on this here, if I clean this up a little bit here for you, is we recently held these recent lows right here where we talked about if we broke down below here and closed below here, we could start testing a couple of these lower levels, but it doesn't seem to want to do that, right? So at this point now, it looks like you got this kind of 1, 2, 3, 4 expanded flat here, and could be getting ready to work on a wave 5. If you want to, if it does start moving, if you want to get an extension on this one, what you do is you go to the bottom basically of wave 2, and you go to the top of wave 4, bring it back to the bottom of wave 4, and go to the 618 extension, right? So basically the next level up right here is 35.65-ish, and that's really close to the gap. So I wouldn't be surprised if the wave does start its way up, that it could possibly fill the gap. So just need to keep an eye on the price action, see if it stays strong. But so far, it's looking kind of constructive. Tesla's looking pretty constructive too. Tesla, I just want to show you guys. Tesla with a nice hammer here off the 80-minute. Again, it's not getting the volume that we like to see, but it's hanging in there. It's getting constructive here over the 80-minute. Let's see if we can continue to do that. So nice stuff there too. And then AFRM, let's take a look. Beautiful, guys. Open right smack dab in the middle of that double inside day range and gave a huge push on that one today. So very, very nice stuff on that one. And just wow, I know exactly. What a day today too. A lot of major reversals today, guys. Huge dip buys. Just really, really incredible stuff. Great stuff. Good job, GZ. Really appreciate it. Hey, Tamara, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at Zoom. Zumba. So basically tagged our last level down here. Again, it is, honestly, what I would do is we tag this level right here, and we're kind of holding this level down here so far. So this is important for it to hold. I'd really look at this one into next week, right, on Monday. This reminds me a lot of Amazon, right? So we got a lot of short activity on this after earnings, right? I've still got this wave 5 down here. I mean, this thing could be fish right here. There's kind of 1, 2, I mean, however you want to look at it. 3, 4, 5. And Look at next week after OPEX, right? If we start to see some bullish price action on Zoom on Monday into next week, this thing could really get going, right? This looks just like Amazon, right? So Amazon, right before OPEX. Right, so down here it looks just like it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it just just continuing to drift its way down, giving you those hammers off of those support levels, and then on Monday, or I'm sorry, on the OPEX next day, right, you had that big push up right here, and you got that beautiful follow through to the upside. All right, so keep an eye on Zoom. It might try to do something very similar to what Amazon did. That could be pretty interesting as well. So good find on that one. And then Starbucks, right? It's also been pretty bearish here recently. Again, big level right here that it's defending inside day. If it breaks down below these lows, look out. It might want to test the 200-day moving average. If it works its way to the upside, you got the gap above, right? So there's a couple ones to look at there. And GUI, you also got Alpha on the radar. Again, very, very similar on this one. I mean, it could be doing a little bit of falling wedge-ish type look to it right here. So just keep an eye on it, see how it goes. I'd like to see some volume breakout, get over the 80 MA, and maybe try to push its way up to the 50-day or the cloud, right? So there's a couple things that we're tracking on that. But anyway, guys, good stuff. Wow, awesome chart requests again tonight. Really, really nice. We added a few of these too, but definitely keep an eye on Zoom going into next week. But you guys found some really good ones that I'm going to put out on the game plan tonight, and I really appreciate you guys coming up with these great charts and sharing them. But anyway, guys, like I said, it's been a fun week this week. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. We always have fun going over the market and going to requests. And guys, this Sunday, we're not going to be doing the Elliott Wave Show. We're going to have a special guest here tonight. And get a special guest here on Sunday. We're going to get Chatterquan in here, guys, and they do some really cool stuff. I'm really impressed with their work. And so I'm looking forward to chatting with them on Sunday. I hope you guys can join us. Bring your friends, and we'll have fun Sunday at 7:30 Eastern Time. And anyway, guys, really appreciate everybody tuning over. It was a wonderful evening. We'll see you guys bright and early here tomorrow morning, right here on YouTube for the Good Morning Market Prep video. And until then, stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can